Votes for President of the United States are as follows. Joseph R. Biden, Jr. of the state of Delaware has received 306 votes. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 232 votes. The announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected President and Vice President of the United States, each for the term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2021, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the Senate and the House of Representatives.
And with that, Michael Pence will be hanging in effigy in the home of Donald Trump for the rest of his days, for the rest of their days, because Donald Trump actually believed that Pence was his last shot. Pence was supposed to save him. Pence did this crazy thing. He followed the Constitution. And so now Joe Biden, as we all knew in November, and Kamala Harris, the next president and vice president of the United States. Mike, I just want to say this to you. I just want to get right to it. And I think it's humorous. It would be humorous if it wasn't so sad. Donald Trump not only has committed treason in 2021, he committed treason in 2020 and in 2019, 2018, 2017. I mean, he has been doing this, is who he is.
2016,
yeah,
keep going.
He is the definition of treason. This is what it is. And it always, it amazes, that's why I say it's amusing to me. Like, there are certain terms that people will tell you about the action. They'll say, yeah, this action is happening, and then you'll put a term on it, and they'll say, well, no, that's not treason. But what is treason? Everything that he has done. He has acted against the best interest of the United States from the most powerful platform in the country. He has made democracy, not only democracy hard to carry out, he has been against democracy from the highest office in the land. He has failed to condemn other countries, most namely Russia, that have acted against the United States. He is a treasonous president. That's what he is. It's almost as if people need somebody to come up to their front door. Hello, I am treason. I know I don't look like treason. You don't expect me to be dressed like this, but I am treason. And I'm coming to your front door to tell you that this is who I am, because you think it's something off in the ether, and it's not. It's right in front of your face. Hi.
Isn't it nice to have some company? You know, Michael, you and I know I have, we've been using the word treason, traitor, national security threat,
terrorist.
We've been talking about terrorist. We've been using these words and these terms for as long as we've been doing this show, and even before that, for years. And so, yeah, it's nice to see people finally get comfortable with the truth and finally stop sugarcoating this thing. Because that's what got us here, is a whole bunch of sugarcoating and a whole bunch of dancing around and you know, not quite wanting to, you know, be inflammatory instead of calling a spade like we were raised to do. So I guess it's like, okay, cool. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. Because right. Michael, my attitude, and that's not to you. I mean, that's to
no. I know. You know, I know it's not.
Yeah, that's to the people who yesterday, you know, finally put their big boy pants on, and decided, you know,
but not quite
to call this what it is. Not quite. Not all the way. Not all the way. But I'm talking about specifically using words like treason and national security threat and domestic terror.
And unfit for office.
Well, but here's the thing about, he was unfit in 2016. I can't get past that. And everybody said that then. That's my thing. Everybody said that then.
And they boosted him up in 2020. They gave him more. They gave him even more support in 2020.
It was so obvious that, Michael, this whole summer, I told you what I struggle with I struggle with the people who finally worked up the quote unquote courage to say Black Lives Matter because it was convenient, because it was comfortable, because it was trendy, because it had been co-opted, quite frankly. You know? Like, where were you 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago? Where have you been all this time? Did Black lives all of a sudden matter in 2020? They didn't in 2016 and 17 and 18 and 19?
I'm sorry, Mike. I just need to see it on a basketball court first before I can say it. You know, I just want to make sure there was on a, it's official now. Hey, if Adam Silver thinks Black Lives Matter, then well maybe I do too.
So that's why for me it's like a lot of day late and dollar short with all of it. And there are 13 days left until January 20th, which, by the way, I thought that was the day that it was going to really pop off. I thought Inauguration Day was going to be, always in the back of my mind, I never spoke it.
Well, don't talk in the past tense. Because
I would like to think that they'll be more prepared for something like this.
I'll say this.
I'm not saying what can or can't happen, but my point is, Michael, the scene we saw play out at the Capitol yesterday, I never spoke it, I never said it to anybody, but in the back of my mind, in my deepest thoughts, I always thought there was going to be some kind of, for lack of a better analogy, wedding objection, speak now or forever hold your peace. Like, remember the conversation about should Donald Trump attend the inauguration? I thought he'd make a scene of some kind. That scene yesterday, I don't know that would have happened on January 20th, which is, of course, going to be much more secured. But yeah, it's just there are 13 days left. And Nancy Pelosi said today, well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, hold on. You talk about the scene being much more secured. This was not a surprise yesterday. It's not. We knew this was coming. And January 5th, this was the big day.
But they're not going to get caught. They're not going to get caught asleep at the wheel again on January 20th. I have to imagine that this won't happen again yesterday.
If they keep coordinating their defense as if Greg Williams is their chief, yes, they will. I mean,
This won't happen on the 20th.
Come on.
It shouldn't have happened yesterday. Hey,
open the gates.
We are in agreement that this shouldn't have happened yesterday. But there's no way this happens on the 20th.
Hold on a second, Mike. Hold on. I gotta get my selfie with the cops as I go into the Capitol. I gotta get my selfie game on. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, because this is a revolution where we're not being. Look at this. Sure. Look at this. I'm gonna push you a little bit. My favorite one though. My favorite one was when a woman was being walked down the stairs. Like you help an elderly person. She was not elderly, and she was being gently, preciously walked down the stairs of the Capitol after she went in for the revolution. In their words, it's a revolution. The revolution was televised, and nothing was happening. This was romper room, man. This was like kiddie. This was kid gloves.
Yeah, this won't play on the 20th. Not now. Sorry, it just won't happen. It won't happen like that.
I hope not.
They're going to have it. They have it much more secure. It shouldn't have happened like this yesterday. It won't happen like this on the 20th. My point, though, about it being a day late and a dollar short, is you have 13 days left until Inauguration Day. And Nancy Pelosi said just this afternoon that if the cabinet doesn't invoke the 25th Amendment, they'll pursue impeachment, which is impractical, that it probably wouldn't. I mean, he could be charged again just like he was the first time, but to remove him through impeachment with less than 2 weeks left is unlikely. Point being, Michael, is that the damage is done. There's no cleaning up this mess with ceremony and gestures now. And what really grinds my gears, what really pissed me off last night, was watching Mitch McConnell use one pronoun, they. Mitch McConnell said they tried to disrupt our democracy. They who? They failed. They who? Yeah. You're one of them.
Yeah, you are.
You're one of them. Lindsey Graham got on his high horse last night and said, count me out. That's enough. Hey, dog, it ain't that easy. You don't get to wash your hands of all the blood that's on your hands. Mike Pence, this attack on our democracy will not be tolerated. You did not win. Hey, man, you're one of them. You're complicit and you're an accomplice in this. And
how about Bill Barr?
Just miss me. Bill Barr, all of them.
You see Bill Barr's quote? Bill Barr's
What
quote.
was this?
It's like, hey, a president who is inciting a riot, a president who is doing this and putting Congress in this position is inexcusable. Excuse me. Hey, Bill, who walked over? Who caressed the Mueller report? Took all the sharp edges off of it, like a very careful potter, and just kind of took the sharp edges and made them round, and then presented it inaccurately to the American public. Oh, that was you. The Mueller report, which said, yes, there was involvement from Russia. There was involvement. The Mueller report that has brought, in that whole process, that sent a lot of people to jail, and then they were pardoned. Some of them were pardoned recently by Donald Trump. You were a part of that. So why is it inexcusable now, but it wasn't inexcusable then?
And this is why I brought up this summer. Because it's comfortable, because it's convenient, because it's popular, because the ship be sinking. You know, this is a bunch of rats scurrying off a sinking ship. And now it's easy and politically beneficial for them to disassociate themselves from Donald Trump, because this is how you attempt to avoid actual accountability. Thankfully, people like Cori Bush and Ilhan Omar, they are not going to allow Trump's accomplices off that easy. I do think there's gonna be a pursuit of some kind of accountability, some kind of consequences for the people who enabled him along the way. But ironically, Michael, or fittingly, I guess you could say, Donald Trump, of course, told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. The Mike Pences of the world, the Lindsey Grahams of the world, the Mitch McConnells of the world. Not only did they stand back and stand by and allow him to run amok and make a mockery of the office of the president, they were in lockstep with him all along the way. And now, when you're inconvenienced, when it comes to, you knocked on the door a minute ago, when it comes to your front door, now you want to get religion. That incenses me more than anything today. I've been in a bad mood all day because I went to bed watching them grandstand and say, oh, you did not win. They are following your lead. You sowed these seeds, and now these weeds are growing in your garden because of what you did. Like that, I pray that they get their comeuppance.
Yeah, I think they will. I want to mention. I want to mention a couple people. You talked about Lindsey Graham. So Lindsey Graham, if you're paying attention, he told on himself last night, and that's why your point is well taken. When you say, "Well, why not? What are you talking about? It's a little too late for this." In one of his soliloquies last night, he's talking about, and he got some applause off of this. He said, "Oh, you know what? I prayed that Joe Biden wouldn't win. I've traveled the world with Joe. I like Joe, but I didn't want him to win. I prayed that he wouldn't win. But I have to tell you, Joe Biden is the next president of the United States. Kamala Harris is the vice president of the United States." And he gets this applause, right? So let's go back for a second. You prayed in November, in October, that Donald Trump would be your president. This didn't start in November. So you saw all the evidence from Donald Trump.
4 years worth.
And what gets you now is because it's coming to you. Because you believed it. You believed the lie that he first told. Well, he told it a long time ago. But when he made it popular, Republican National Convention in Cleveland. Sorry, the good people of Cleveland had to deal with that. But in Cleveland, he told this lie that your cities, this is what he said in his keynote speech, which is supposed to be uplifting and inspiring. In his keynote speech in Cleveland, he says, your cities are dark, your cities are falling apart, they're crumbling. Only one person can save them, and it's me. Fact check me. He said it.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
I'm going to save you. I'm going to save your suburbs. He said that on the campaign trail in 2020. I'm going to save your suburbs. So they all believe the lie that come on, let's just be real. Let's be real. The black people, black and brown people, people who don't belong here. Country doesn't belong to us. We were going to hurt them. So a lot of people believe that yesterday. They're shocked. Now they're clutching pearls. They're gasping.
Well, hey, check this out, though.
Because they didn't think that all that rhetoric would come home to roost at the front door of the country.
It's over. All the treasonous acts that he's committed, all the traitorous acts that he's committed, all the terrorism that he's incited, because long before yesterday, white supremacy had been identified as the #1 domestic terrorist threat in this country, okay? So take all that, right? Had this election gone the other way, and I pointed out the other day that the 65,009 votes that could have swung the Electoral College, had this election gone the other way, they'd still be riding this thing till the wheels fall off. They'd still be right alongside Donald Trump.
That's what I told you. Lindsey Graham told him himself yesterday. That's what he wanted.
Forward. Even if this process would have gone, like if honestly, the insurrection, the rioters, the terrorists, the mob might have done us a favor in a twisted kind of way. Because if they don't show up and show out the way that they did, how does yesterday play out? How much? I mean, we knew that there was nothing they could actually do to overturn the results. We knew that Pence wasn't going to take part in it. But how does yesterday actually play out? What are they saying if it's not comfortable and convenient for them to all of a sudden, like you say, clutch their pearls? And it doesn't stop with the government, Michael. It doesn't stop there. Hey, Mark Zuckerberg, you're a coward. Okay, this just in. Talk about, water is wet. You're a coward. Twitter, come on now. What are we doing?
On.
So
Twitter.
You should have suspended his account years ago.
We're gonna shut it down right now.
They just started flagging it. Now you want to suspend his account now?
If it's anybody else, if anybody else is on Twitter acting like this, and you have to put disclaimers on every single tweet. Well, this is not necessarily true, and this could be dangerous, and this is what happened. When you have to do that, when you have to flag every single tweet, then that person probably should have they should have deleted his account. Elizabeth Warren was ahead of her time.
If they're doing it now, Michael, it stands to reason they could have done it whenever they wanted to. But again, they didn't do it until it got really bad, and it behooved them to do it because they think it makes them look good. They think it makes them look sanctimonious.
I said I had a couple people to mention. I already mentioned Lindsey Graham. You want to laugh a little bit? Laugh,
please.
But not really. It's not really funny. So Mick Mulvaney, who was Donald Trump's chief of staff, now special envoy, he resigned. He was special envoy to Northern Ireland. So he told the Washington Post, we didn't sign up for what you saw yesterday. That's what he said. We didn't sign up for what you saw yesterday. We signed up to make America great again. We signed up for lower taxes and less government regulation. No, you didn't. There are lots of Republicans who could have done that for you. I could have gone to the Republican store and got you a nice Republican who is not provocative, who is not a bully, who is not a racist. I could have gotten you one who would have given you all of the conservative principles that you say you were looking for. But no. You did sign up for this. When you choose to be on Donald Trump's team, you know exactly what you're signing up for. And what you're signing up for is what you saw yesterday. So yesterday, that's different than shouting out the Proud Boys. That's different. How's it different? Is yesterday different? Is it different than saying, lock her up and build the wall and all the stuff
We've been ringing
said.
this bell the whole time.
Asking for it. He's probably frankly surprised that it didn't happen earlier. Hey, how about where he wouldn't call the governor of Michigan? Did you sign up for this? He said, he's a different Donald Trump than he was 8 months ago. Okay, 8 months ago, he was still trolling the governor of Michigan, who he would not call her name. Her name is Gretchen. Okay, wouldn't call her by her name. That woman governor, that lady in Michigan, the good people of Michigan deserve better.
Talking about when
and they tried to kill her.
You talking about when they stormed that Capitol, when they were armed and stormed the Capitol? You talking about that, right? That Michigan, correct? That state.
How about
the good people on both sides? We can go on and on with this, Michael.
That was in 2017, by the way.
We can go on and on.
Good people on both sides.
Yeah, we can go on and on with the many examples of how it was cool until it came to their front door. We got to go to break though, but the world is watching, as we know, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Our flaws have been laid bare.